Oh, shit! Max, watch out!
Hey guys, Magic Bard here with an epic tutorial in After Effects. Neat little trick you guys can do. It is fairly simple, meaning that there aren't a lot of layers in this one like there was in the head blowing up tutorial that you guys seem to like. So yeah, we'll jump right into this one really quickly and kind of show you guys how to achieve this whole ducking under a car or dipping under a car. If you look really closely, you can see my head gets nicked by the car. And you can kind of achieve that by doing or using the puppet tool. So let's jump into it. This is what you guys need to do. So there's two shots I have in here. There's the car shot, okay, which is just a car driving by. And remember, you need to shoot this one on a tripod and keep the camera on the tripod the whole time, because what you're going to do is you're going to get the shot of the car, and then your next shot is going to be the shot of you or your actor pretending like he or she is ducking under the car, okay? And obviously there is no car there. Actually, fun fact, I'm the one driving the car. So take your car layer or your car clip and let's open that one up and just set your in and out points. So I'll go in point here, and then car leaves the screen, out point. And let's drop it into a new comp. So just drag it into the new composition. So now we've got our car layer, and then we're gonna drop in your actor layer. So I just have my name Max. Here, we'll set the in and out points for that as well, just so we don't have this huge clip coming into our composition. So we'll go in point here, and then yeah, out point when I leave, and drag that in on top of the car. And your actor clip on top, let's press T to open up the opacity and bring it down to about 50%. Okay, so now we can kind of time this whole car thing. When it gets close to me is when I'm gonna start ducking. So at about here, what I'll do is just drag this out right to where I start to hit the ground, find where the car gets to me. So probably at about here. Let's see what that looks like if I drag this over, and the car will run over me. And yeah, that should work. So basically you guys can see how I did that one, dropping it to 50% so you can time it out yourself, and then once you got it, once you're good to go, then you can just drag this all the way and start your clip. All right, so let's bring this, and I'll just click on both of these clicks. So I'll select this, hold on the shift key, and so I can select both and then kind of drag it out until I start to move out of frame. So we can start it there. I'll be good there. So bring up your opacity 100%. Now we need to mask myself out, or the actor. And what we're going to do is use the pen tool, and I'll just kind of sort of make a, here, I'll bring myself in it right here and just do a simple mask around me, okay? And make sure you get in your shadow as well. So if there's a shadow, make sure the mask covers the whole part. So I need to drag this layer out as well to match my top clip. So then what we're going to do is, with your actor clip selected, here, let's just name them for now. So actor and then car. So press MM to open up your mask parameters, and then you're going to keyframe the mask path and just keyframe the path to wherever you walk. So move the nodes around so that you're always inside of the mask. So we're looking good there. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the mask path tool to mask yourself out right until the car just about touches you. Okay? And then we're going to use the rotobrush tool. All right? Okay, good. So what you want to do is you create your mask, and now what you can do is use the rotobrush tool to rotoscope yourself out all the way through. That will use up a lot of computing power and slow things down for you. So that's why I found this method more effective. And what you do is just click on your layer, hold down the Command Shift and press D. So if you're on a Windows, I think it's Control Shift D to split the layer. And what you're going to do is start your rotoscoping from here all the way till the car gets completely over you. So what I'm going to do is go to about right here and then do another Command Shift D to split it again. And we're going to rotoscope this layer right here. All right, guys. So take this and we're going to delete the mask. So click it by selecting the layer, pressing M, and then press delete. And then now let's just rotoscope this guy. So with this layer selected, you're going to go to your rotobrush tool and double click it. And let's zoom in there and select your body. So all I'm doing is dragging around, selecting my actor or myself. Now it's fine if your purple line goes a little over the edge. You know, it's over here. That's all going to be fine. As long as you are inside of the purple, you're all good. Okay? So this looks good to me. Let's zoom into this just so we can see it more by pressing the plus sign, and make sure that this is dragged out all the way to the end duration of your clip. And so you can press page down and it will kind of like analyze, check your clip, and then move the purple around, or the our pink mask layer to kind of show you what's going on. And you can also drag this playhead over and then let it render out and kind of watch it to make sure that everything is a-okay in place. And once it is, I will press the freeze button and that will create my rotobrush layer. Alright guys, that's fine with me. I'm just gonna kind of go through this tutorial really quickly to show you guys how to do it without really finessing it and taking my time. But when you guys are doing it, make sure that the mask is covering your hand. So as you can see, it is not right here. So what I would do is just kind of go frame by frame and use my rotobrush tool to fill that in. But since I'm doing this tutorial, I want to kind of make it fast for you, and I've got my layer ready to go right here. So now we need to make the car on top of me. So what we're going to do is select your car layer, go to the very beginning of our masked out actor clip that we just created with a rotobrush, and select your car layer, hold down the Command Shift D, and you guys guessed it, we're going to cut this one out, and Command Shift D again, and click on this layer and bring it up to the top. Okay, so now we have a car on top of our actor. So what we're going to do is now mask out the car. Alright, cool. So now we have our car cut out. Just on this layer, make sure it's kind of dragged out all the way, because we want our bottom car plate to be filling our whole composition, and then this is just our car cutout to run over ourselves, right? So that's why I can do things like not get the whole tire here or here, and it'll still look good, right? So select our top car layer, hit the mask or the M button to open up our mask path parameter, and let's start to keyframe this. So click our stopwatch right here to start our beginning keyframe, and then just page up and down, and then just page up and down to start to move our mask. So I'm page down and going to move the mask as the car moves. And also I'm going to bring my feather up to about, I'd say, what, 10 pixels, because our car's moving so fast that it makes a blurry edge. It makes the edges blur around the car, so you want to reflect that in your mask as well. So that's why I would mask feather your car. Okay, cool. So that's our basic mask of the car. So now we're getting closer to it, right? So the car runs over our body, and then there's a few mishaps we'll fix of our ground being very bright. And I'll show you guys how to make that darker by basically creating a shadow. But let's fix this part really quickly. The mask on your third layer of the actor, which is also keyframed as well. So I'll just bring this guy, bring these guys down a little bit in. Cool, that's good. And then basically what we're going to do is, as the car gets out of the shot, we can grow this mask of our actor larger. So let me just open that up so we can kind of see our keyframes for that. And I'll zoom in and kind of grow this out a bit. Man, I really messed this one up, huh? But you guys get the basic idea of what we're doing with this mask, right? Really is having our actor layer on top of the car layer, and then our magic is happening by masking out our actor. And you know, using this trick, the ideas from this trick, there's a lot of things you can do, and I'll release a couple of other quick little tutorials that are very similar to this idea, and you know, we'll have some fun with it. But yeah, so once the car is gone, which is right about there, you can just grow the mask to the whole frame, okay? And then what we'll do is delete our car plate layer, because now our whole frame is our actor. Okay, so we'll be good right there, and then we can take our car layer and just delete it at about that point. So I'm just pressing Command Shift D and then deleting that, because now it's all actor. Okay, once you have created your masks for your actor, your car layer, and your here's our car layer, and your rotoscoped actor, now what we can do is start to add some shadows. So when the car comes over your body, what should happen is it should be darker. So the ground obviously should be more of this color than what it is right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some solid layers. So just kind of go up to this layer right here and go to New Solid. All right, and that's Command Y for your keyboard shortcut. So let's create a fairly dark solid and press OK. And then drag this guy right under your car layer. And then let's kind of trim him down. And let's hide it for a second just so we can see what we're working with. And what we're going to do is create another keyframe or another mask and put it under the car. So let's kind of create a rectangle, and you're going to keyframe the mask path. So press M, keyframe, and then have this solid follow the solid of the follow the shadow of the car, right? So bring it over here and let's start to form this up. And remember, the only reason why we have this shadow is to cover up your actor. So if it, so the shadow doesn't have to be out here with the rest of this, right? And let's turn it on just so we can kind of see it. Okay, cool. So we're getting there, looking a little better. We have now the shadow covering our actor. And next part, actually what I'm going to do is let's close these down so we can see our whole timeline. And I'm just going to color code this so we can see it better and make it yellow. So remember, this is our rotoscoped actor. So rotoscope. And what I'm going to do is trim this down. So right about here, we don't even see him at all. So I'm just going to Shift Command D, Command Shift D, cut it there, and go to where we start to see him. Let me cut down this shadow because we don't need that car shadow once our guy is gone. So I'll trim him down as well. Okay. Alright, so I start to see the actor at about here, so I'll Command Shift D here and then just delete this layer. Okay, because we don't even see it, so there's no point in having another rotoscoped piece in here. So we've got this, and our guy pops up. Cool. Now what we're going to do is duplicate this layer right here. The guy, the actor that is under the car, okay? And we're going to add a wipe to him. So just go and press Command D to duplicate it. With this layer selected, go to Fill, and we're going to fill it with black. Okay? And so under your fill color, click it and press black. So go to Layer, Pre-Compose, and make sure you move all attributes into a new composition and press OK. And what we're going to do is create a mask around our actor and trim the front of your car, okay? And then you can kind of go like this. And then what we're going to do is press M, keyframe our mask path, and move it as the car moves over us, and it's going to create a wipe, okay? And it's going to wipe this this black over. So we can go to our mask and click on Subtract, and then we'll start to sort of wipe ourselves. So we're going to have to feather this one as well. Maybe we'll do 20 and see how it goes. So let's kind of bring this over and start to a little bit more. Okay, and let's keyframe this guy. So bring him down, and you'll start to see that it does this black wipe over us, right? So when we hit a point where we start to get right under the car, we should be completely dark or very dark. And that's what we're achieving with this layer. So let's keyframe it out. And guys, I'm really going quickly on this one. So what I would do is really finesse this one. As you can see down here, you don't want it to be very bright right here. So what I do with this layer is just drag it down to help get rid of that, right? And that's what the whole point of this layer is for. And then another thing you can do, if you don't like the way it looks completely 100% black, is just turn down the opacity for this layer to maybe 80%. And that way we're not left with anything that's absolutely pitch black, right? So right here, this also isn't good. So what I would do is bring it down all the way. Okay, now we're looking really good. Okay, so we've added a shadow, a car shadow. We've added a extra black wipe over us. Now, you know, what you can do is just only use the black wipe, and if that looks good enough for you, then you don't even need the shadow. I just like to add a couple of extra things for detail. And guys, that's the effect right there. You know, we're essentially done. Now what I would do is take your whole composition and pre-compose it. So select all of your layers, go to layer, pre-compose, and pre-comp it as barred car run over. I shot this on a Sony a7S II, so it's in 4K. So I'll just bring it down to HD, which is 1920 by 1080. Okay, so I have some wiggle room to play with, and I would just mess around with the camera work, right? So I would start off by kind of zooming in a little bit, and starting on me, scale, press P for position, and then press U to see your keyframes, so position and scale, and then I'd move the camera to sort of follow me, right? And kind of go like this, and we're good. And then another thing you could do is add a null object, so layer new null. And you guys probably already know what I'm doing if you've seen my other tutorials, is creating a wiggle effect. So you can press P for position and click on the Alt, or hold down the Alt key, and then click on the stopwatch and then type in wiggle, and maybe 1,10. Okay, and what that'll do is create a null object that's wiggling, and then what we can do with that is parent our composition to the null, and that will move the composition as the null moves. Okay, so this wiggle effect is making our comp wiggle as well, as we have keyframed this all out. Now, if you've seen my other tutorials, I've done it the opposite way, where I've made our composition the wiggle layer, and then our null as our camera movements. So, you know, as I've said before, in editing, there's many ways to do one effect. It's just, you know, an editor's preference. So that's the great thing about visual effects, is you can see a movie and you can kind of get an idea of how it was done, but maybe you don't know exactly how, and you could create it yourself just by kind of breaking it down and, you know, doing your own steps. So that's the great thing about visual effects, guys. We're all having fun and learning new techniques and then applying them in different ways to create movie magic. So guys, that's the tutorial. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope that it's helping out as well. So let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have any questions, and if there are any visual effects out there that you want to learn, leave them in the comments. Feel free to follow me on social media. I'm at Magic Bard on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. So I'd love to say hi to you guys. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, guys, that's the ducking under the car tutorial. Have fun with it. I'll see you on the next one. All right, peace.